How's it going, guys? I hope you guys are having a great week. So it is that time of the month again, guys. It's time to talk about the top game releases coming out. So this one today is going to focus on the top 8 game releases that came out in March 2020. I just want to quickly say a big apology for, sort of pausing on this series. The last 2 or 3 months I haven't really been uploading these just because of how crazy things have been, but I want to get back onto doing this because, especially with a lot of people being in lockdown at the moment, I think it's really good to know what games came out in the last couple of months and see if anything obviously is interesting for you, if there's any titles on these lists that you weren't aware of and maybe want to pick up. So without further ado, I'm going to upload these in very quick succession, one after the other, for you guys. And let's start off by talking about the top 8 game releases that came out in March 2020. Number 1, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So this game, of course, is developed by Moon Studios and published by Xbox Game Studios. It's one of their exclusive platformers. Now, it is a direct sequel to the 2015 acclaimed platformer Ori and the Blind Forest, which was a beautiful game. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend that you go back and you play it. Once again, players control the White Guardian spirit Ori. The game is absolutely gorgeous. It is set straight after the events of Blind Forest, and we get to explore a brand new area called Newell. New maps, new level designs. This is a Metroidvania style platforming game, but it seems like with Ori and the Will of the Wisp that the developers have taken what was already a great game and made it even better. Ori and the Will of the Wisp offers a revamped combat and leveling system, beautiful art style, and incredibly gorgeous musical score. Great gameplay. There's some brilliant platforming, chase sequences, and boss fights in this game. So if you're a big fan of platformers and Metroidvania style games, then this game is absolutely worth picking it up. It is also part of the Xbox Games Pass, so if you're a member of that, then absolutely you owe it to yourself to download this game and check it out. So Ori and the Blind Forest came out on the 11th of March and is available on the PC and Xbox One. Number 2, My Heroes Justice 2. This game is developed by Viking Studios and of course published by Bandai Namco. It's actually the sequel to 2018's My Hero 1's Justice, and it's based on the hit anime series My Hero Academia, which if you're a fan of anime and you haven't watched it, it's well worth checking out. It's basically the new popular series that's kind of to a degree replaced Naruto. It's really, really good. If you're a fan of the series, all your favorite characters from the first game are returning to this 3D arena fighter, and it basically pits heroes and villains against each other. It's based on the hit anime series and does feature fan favorites including Deku, All Might, and Shigaraki. It actually covers the anime in terms of season 4, I think it covers, in terms of the main story campaign that you can play through. So you get to play through iconic and memorable scenes from the anime. Of course, you get to pull off explosive quirks with all your favorite characters, and this game has a lot of playable characters available. So there are actually 40 playable characters which are spread across both heroes and villains. It also has a new sidekick system which allows you to choose sidekicks to aid you during battle, and with these sidekicks you can also do some pretty sweet looking combos. The game will also allow another player to play as a sidekick, allowing up to 4 players to fight it out in a 2v2 game mode. It offers new customization options, so of course some new plus ultras, new incredible looking quirks. If you are looking for a really good fighting game or you're into anime, then this may be a title that you want to check out and pick up. So My Heroes 1's Justice 2 came out on the 13th of March and will be available on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Number 3, Neo 2. So this game, of course, is developed by Team Ninja. It is actually the prequel to the first Neo, which came out in 2017. Neo 2 is actually set in the late 1500s, and players take on the role of a character nicknamed Hide. Hide is a half yokai, referred to as a shiftling, and similar to its predecessor, Neo 2, of course, is an action role-playing game. Players players for the first time actually get to create their own playable character. The customization options in the character creator are fantastic, and you can create some pretty cool looking unique characters. So you will have your own playable character, who of course is a yokai spirit. Players can equip a variety of weapons, including odachi and kusarigami, as well as earning new skills as you progress through the game. When players defeat a hostile yokai, some of them may actually drop a soul core, and this actually allows players to gain yokai abilities and actually transform into yokai themselves after depositing these soul cores at a shrine. This is a Souls-like game in that the combat is really challenging, but the very popular stances are back, and you have the new introductions of yokai abilities to really shake things up. So it plays very similar to the original Nioh, but also it's new and a little bit more action focused and action orientated, and the new yokai abilities are really cool. So if you're looking for a really challenging, RPG or combat Souls-like combat game, then Nioh 2 I'm sure will be right up your street. It also has a massively expanded leveling and customization system as well, and it just looks really cool. So yeah, if you enjoyed Nioh, then I can imagine that you would definitely enjoy Nioh 2 as well. And this game came out on the 13th of March and is available exclusively on the PlayStation 4. Number 4, Animal Crossing New Horizons. So of course this is developed by Nintendo. It's actually the 5th main series title in the Animal Crossing series. In New Horizons, players assume the role of a customizable character who moves to a deserted island after purchasing a package from Tom Nook. The game takes place in real time, and players can explore the island in a non-linear fashion, gathering and crafting items, catching insects and fish, and developing the island into a community of animals. Nintendo have also confirmed that New Horizons will feature frequent post-release updates, most of these being based around real-life events. So they had a special Easter event, I think they had like a May Day, Earth Day event as well. But Animal Cross is a very well loved series, and it's a game that you can just put hours and hours and hours into. You can very easily lose your life to this game, and if you're interested in that kind of thing, then I think Animal Crossing will be well worth picking up. This game of course came out on the 20th of March and is available exclusively on the Nintendo Switch. Number 5, Doom Eternal. So this is developed by ID Software and published by Bethesda Studios. It's the sequel to 2016's Doom, which was an incredible reboot of the Doom franchise. And it seems that with Doom Eternal, ID Software have taken what was already a great game and just made it even better, if you can believe. So Hell's armies have invaded Earth, and you resume the role of the Slayer in an epic single-player campaign to conquer demons across multiple dimensions to stop the final destruction of humanity. This game has just leveled everything up. So you are armed with a shoulder-mounted flamethrower, retractable wrist-mounted blade, upgraded guns and mods and abilities. You're faster, stronger, and more versatile than ever. There are glory kills back in this game for extra health. You can incinerate enemies for armor pieces, chainsaw demons to stock up on ammo, and it's just high adrenaline. It has a thumping metal soundtrack, and then in addition to the already fantastic single player experience, it then has a new multiplayer mode called Battle Mode, which is a new 2 versus 1 multiplayer experience where a fully armed Doomslayer faces off against 2 player controlled demons. It's intense and it's heaps of fun. The gunplay is so smooth in this. The weapons are all very different, very unique. They feel incredible, and the music as well is just awesome. If you're really looking to scratch that first person shooter itch, I can't think of a better game to do that with than Doom Eternal, which came out on the 20th of March and of course is available on the PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Stadia. Number 6, Half-Life Alyx. So Half-Life Alyx is Valve's VR return to the Half-Life series. Fans of the Half-Life series have been asking for a sequel for many years, and this is not a sequel. It's actually set between the events of Half-Life and Half-Life 2, and during this game you actually play as Alyx Vance. You are basically humanity's only chance to survive against a vicious alien race known as the Combine. It's interesting that it's a VR title. I think, to be fair, it looks really good. I've heard really good things about it. I don't think it's exactly what people were hoping for, but those that have played Half-Life Alyx have said that it's a really enjoyable VR game, and it's a fully fleshed out game as well, with a very definite single player experience. It's got good sort of puzzle solving elements to it, as well as sort of first person shooting elements as well. So if you have a VR headset then on the PC, then I highly recommend picking up this game, because it sounds really good. And if you're a fan of the Half-Life series, then I'm sure this is something that you would enjoy playing, just generally to jump back into that world and immerse yourself in the world of Half-Life. So Half-Life Alyx came out on the 23rd of March, and of course it is available exclusively on the PC VR with Valve. Number 7, Bleeding Edge. So this game is developed by Ninja Theory. They are the studio that brought you DMC Devil May Cry and also Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, which was my game of the year when it came out. It's also the first game that they have published with Xbox Game Studios. So it's the first title that they've released since becoming part of the Xbox family. It is a multiplayer online combat game, and effectively it's Microsoft's answer to Overwatch. It has a very similar art style and premise. There are 12 playable characters that you can choose from. Most of them use melee attacks, but some of them also do have some ranged attacks as well. Each player character can cover one of 3 classes. So you have the damage class, support class, and also the tank class. Each character also has special abilities. These are mapped to button prompts. They each have 3 abilities, and then they also have a super ability as well, which is on a cooldown bar. But I got to play Bleeding Edge. I got to play the beta of this game, and I really had a good time with it, and I really enjoyed it. The game itself anyway is, I think, $24.99, so it's a pretty good price for the content that is there. And of course it's also part of the Xbox Game Pass as well, so if you're a member of that, it's probably well worth picking up. And if you're looking for a good multiplayer game, an easy one that you can just jump into and jump out of, it's a really good title to do that with. And also it's really easy to pick it up and play it, and every character is very different, very unique, and I like that you can choose a role to play, and it's a very team-based kind of game. So yeah, it's really enjoyable, so I highly recommend it if you're looking for that sort of title. And of course Bleeding Edge came out on the 24th of March and is available exclusively on the PC and Xbox One. And finally, number 8, Persona 5 Royal. So this is developed by P Studio. It's actually an expanded version of 2016's Persona 5, which for me was one of the best titles that came out in 2016, and I know for many people it was their game of the year. So what is Persona 5 Royal? Well, it's the original game, but it also features a lot of new content as well. This is an expanded version of the original game. So of course Joker and the Phantom Thieves are back, but it will also feature some new additions. So this version also features an additional Phantom Thief member named Kasumi Yoshizawa, a new palace, new dungeons to explore, new musical tracks, and the music in Persona 5 is awesome, additional plot points and story elements, as well as some new social elements as well, and an entirely playable third semester. It will also offer support for the PlayStation 4 Pro, as well as many other new additions as well. So this is a new expanded version of the original game. It offers a lot of new content. It's very worth picking up. If you never got to play the original Persona 5, then this is pretty much the ultimate edition for you to buy. And if you did play Persona 5 and you really enjoyed it and explored every element, and you're looking for new content or more things, then this obviously will offer that to you as well. Persona 5 was one of the best games for me in 2016, and I really enjoyed it. So Persona 5 Royal came out on the 31st of March and is available exclusively on the PlayStation 4. So there you have it, guys. Those were the top 8 games that came out in March 2020. So let me know what you guys think of this list. If there's any titles that you would add on here that I missed, please share those in the comment section below. If there are any of these games that you picked up and played and want to share your thoughts on, then please pop those in the comment section below with recommendations for people that maybe haven't picked them up. But anyway, it's great to be back with this series. I do really enjoy making these videos, so hopefully I'll pick these back up and start to do them more regularly on a monthly basis. Anyway, hope you guys having a great week, of course. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Bye, guys.